Tyrone Jones, weeping, a piss puddle on the floor by his chair. Ed walked in. "Tyrone, Ray Coates ratted you off. He said the night owl was your idea. He said you got the idea while you were cruising Griffith Park. Tyrone, tell me about it. I think it was Ray's idea. He made you do it. Tell me where the guns and car are, and I think we can save your life." No answer. "Tyrone, this is a gas chamber job. If you don't talk to me, you'll be dead in 6 months. No answer. Jones kept his head down. "Son, 6 people are dead, and somebody has to pay. It can be you or it can be Ray." Jones sobbed.
"Didn't kill nobody. None of us. Wasn't even there."
Jones started babbling. Ed knelt by his chair, listened. He heard.
"Please, God, I just wanted to lose my cherry," he heard. "Not right, punish what we didn't do. Maybe she be okay if she don't die, so I don't die, 'cause I ain't no queer."
He felt himself buzzing. Electric chair. A sign on top. They didn't do it. Ed hit the number 2 cubicle. Rank sweat, cigarette smoke. Leroy Fontaine. Big, dark, processed hair, his feet up on the table. Ed said, "Be smarter than your friends. Even if you killed her, it's not as bad as killing 6 people. Fontaine tweaked his nose, bandaged, spread over half his face. Ed closed the door, scared. "Leroy, you better hope she was with you at the coroner's estimated time of death. Leroy, look how it can go both ways. I think you kidnapped a girl at gunpoint. You made her bleed up the car, so you hid the car. She bled on your clothes, so you burned the clothes. You got her perfume all over yourselves. If you didn't do the night owl, I don't know why you hid the shotguns. Maybe you thought she could identify them. Son, if that girl is alive, she is the only chance you've got." Fontaine said, "I think she alive." Ed sat down. "Who is she? Where is she?" No answer. "Is she colored?"
"She Mex."
"What's her name?"
"I don't know. College-type bitch."
"Where did you pick her up?"
"I don't know. East side someplace."
"Where did you assault her?"
"I don't know. Old building on Dunkirk somewheres."
"Where's the car and the shotguns?"
"I don't know. Sugar, he took care of them."
"If you didn't kill her, why did Coates hide the shotguns?" Fontaine hit the table. "Tell me, goddammit!"
"Sugar, he poked her with them guns. He afraid it'd be evidence."
Ed closed his eyes. "Where is she now?" No answer. The door banged open. Bud White stepped in, threw Fontaine against the wall. Ed froze. White pulled out his .38, broke the cylinder, dropped shells on the floor. Fontaine shook head to toe. Ed kept freezing. White snapped the cylinder shut, stuck the gun in Fontaine's mouth. "1 and 6. Where's the girl?" Fontaine chewed steel. White squeezed the trigger twice. Clicks, empty chambers. Fontaine slid down the wall. White pulled the gun back, held him up by his hair. "Where's the girl?" Ed kept freezing. White pulled the trigger. Another little click. Fontaine bug-eyed.
Sylvester Fitch, 109 Avalon, Gray Corner House. Please don't hurt me."
White ran out. Fontaine passed out. Bud went in the back way, through the alley, a fence vault on the rear porch, a screen door, inside hook and eye. He slipped the catch with his penknife, walked in on tiptoes. A hallway, light bouncing from 2 side rooms, a rug to walk on, music to give him more cover. He tiptoed up to the first room, wheeled in. A nude woman spread-eagled on a mattress, bound with neckties, a necktie in her mouth. Bud hit the next room loud. A fat mulatto at a table, naked, wolfing Kellogg's Rice Krispies. He put down his spoon, raised his hands.
"No, sir. Don't want no trouble."
Bud shot him in the face. Jack drove to North Hamel, parked with a view, Bobby Inge's door. He walked into the courtyard, lucked out on witnesses, none. Handcuff ratchets popped the door, teeth cutting cheap wood. He felt for a wall light, tripped a switch. The same cleaned-out living room, the pad in the same disarray. Jack sat by the door, waited. Boredom time stretched, 15 minutes, 30, an hour. Knocks on the front window pane. Jack drew down, the door eye level. He faked a fag lilt. "It's open." A pretty boy sashayed in. Jack said, "Shit." Timmy Valburn, a.k.a. Moochie Mouse, Billy Dieterling's squeeze. "Timmy, what the fuck are you doing here?" Valburn slouched, one hip cocked, no fear. "Bobby's a friend." "Does Billy know about you and Bobby?" "Jack, you're being vile. Bobby is a friend. I don't think Billy knows we're friends, but friends is all we are." Jack took out his notepad. "So I'm sure you have a lot of friends in common." "No. Put that away, because I don't know any of Bobby's friends." "Change up. Smut, picture book stuff, regular and homo. That your bent, Timmy?" No flinch. "Don't be vile, Jack." Jack moved extra slow, the smut mags and face sheets to a chair, a lamp pulled over for some light. "Look at those pictures. If you recognize anybody, tell me. That's all I want." "I don't know any of the people in those pictures, and I haven't seen those magazines before." "People of your type know people who know people. Hand me your wallet." Valburn shrugged, pulled out a billfold. Jack glommed what he wanted. Calling cards, names and numbers on paper scraps. Fruit bar pickings, first names, phone numbers. One card looked familiar. Fleur de Lis, 24 hours a day, whatever you desire. HO01239. No writing on the back. Jack racked his brain, couldn't make a connection. New plan. Call the numbers. Impersonate Bobby Inge. Drop lines about stag books. See who bit. Stick at the pad. See who called or showed up. Long shot stuff. First buzz the cop line at Pacific Coast Bell. Ring, ring. "Miss Sutherland speaking." "This is Sergeant Vince Sens, LAPD. I need a name and an address on a phone number." "Don't you have a reverse directory, Sergeant?" "I'm in a phone booth, and the number I want checked is Hollywood 01239. "Very well. Please hold the line." Jack held. The woman came back on. "No such number is assigned. Bell is just beginning to assign 5-digit numbers, and that one has not been assigned." Jack hung up. First thoughts. Bootleg line. Bookies had them. Bent guys at PC Bell rigged the lines, kept the numbers from being assigned. Free phone service. No way police agencies could subpoena records. No make on incoming calls. Parker said, "Ed, you were brilliant the other day. I disapprove of Officer White's intrusion, but I can't complain with the results. I need smart men like you and direct men like Bud, and I want both of you on the Night Owl job." "Sir, I don't think White and I can work together." "You won't have to. Dudley Smith's heading up the investigation, and White will report directly to him. 2 other men, Mike Bruning and Dick Carlisle, will work with White, however Dudley wants to play it." "What specifically do I do?" Parker pointed to a case graph on an easel. "We have not found the shotguns or Coates' car, and until that girl those thugs assaulted clears them on the time element, we have to assume that they are still our prime suspects." Ed said, "It all comes back to the girl." Parker picked up a report form. "Inez Soto, age 21, a college student. She's at Queen of Angels, and she just came out of sedation this morning." Ed went to the girl's hospital room, leaned on the bed rail. "I'm sorry we couldn't have given you more time to recuperate, and I'll try to make this as brief as possible." Inez Soto stared at him, dark eyes bloodshot, a raspy voice.
"I won't look at any more pictures."
Bob Gallaudet said, "Miss Soto identified Coates, Fontaine, and Jones from mugshots. I told her we might need her to look at some mugshots for IDs on the other men." Ed shook his head. "That won't be necessary right now. Right now, Miss Soto, I need you to try to remember a chronology of the events that happened to you 2 nights ago. Now, we can do this very slowly, and for now we won't need details. When you're more rested, we can go over it again. Please, take your time and start when the 3 men kidnapped you." Inez pushed up on her pillows.
"They weren't men."
Ed gripped the rail. "I know, and they're going to be punished for what they did to you. But before we can do that, we need to eliminate or confirm them as suspects on another crime."
"I want them dead."
"We can't do that, because then the other ones who hurt you will go free. We have to do this correctly." A hoarse whisper.
"Correctly means 6 white people are more important than a Mexican girl from Boyle Heights. Those animals ripped me up and did their business in my mouth. They stuck guns in me. My family thinks I brought it on myself because I didn't marry a stupid cholo when I was 16. I will tell you nothing, cabron."
Gallaudet. "Miss Soto, Sergeant Exley saved your life."
"He ruined my life. Officer White said he cleared the Negritos on a murder charge. Officer White's the hero. He killed the puto who took me up my ass."
Inez sobbed. Gallaudet gave the cut-off sign. Ed walked down to the gift shop. Flowers for $8.75. Fat, cheerful bouquets every day. Bud came on duty early, found a memo on his desk. "Lad, paperwork is not your forte, but I need you to run record checks for me. 1. Susan Nancy Leffers, W.F., D.O.B., 12922, no criminal record. A San Bernardino native recently arrived in Los Angeles. Worked as a salesgirl at Bullock's Wilshire. 2. Delbert Melvin Cathcart, a.k.a. Duke, W.M., D.O.B. 111414. 2 statutory rape convictions, served 3 years at San Quentin. 3 procuring arrests, no convictions. No known place of employment. Last known address, 9819 Van Dome, Silver Lake District. 3. Malcolm Robert Lunsford, a.k.a. Mal, W.M., D.O.B. 6212. No last known address, worked as a security guard at the Mighty Man Agency. Former LAPD officer assigned to Hollywood Division throughout most of his 11-year career. Fired for incompetence, 650. Known to be a late-night habitué of the Night Owl. Meet me tonight, 9:30 at the Pacific Dining Car. We'll discuss the job and related matters. D.S. Bud checked police records for Cathcart's known suspected prostitutes. 2 names, Feather Royko, Sinful Cindy Benavides. He sent Brunning to collect them. Bud walked into the box. The whores looked bad. Bud said, "So you read the papers this morning?" Feather Royko said,
"Yeah, poor Dookie."
"What about enemies? Duke have any?"
"No, Dookie was Dookie."
"How many other girls was he running?"
"Just us. We are the meager remnants of Dookie Pooh's stable."
Then Duke must have had something else going. A 2-girl string wouldn't cover him. Feather picked at her nail polish.
"Dookie was jazzed up on some new business scheme. You see, he always had some kind of scheme going. He was a dreamer."
"Did he give you details?"
"No. Can we go now?"
"Go. There's a cab stand up the street." The girls moved out fast. Bud gave them a lead, ran to his car. Up to Sunset across from the cab stand, a 2-minute wait. Cindy and Feather walked up. Separate cabs, different directions. Cindy shot due north on Wilcox, maybe toward home. Bud took a shortcut. The cab showed right on time. Cindy walked to a green DeSoto, took off westbound. Bud counted to 10, followed. Out to the valley, to the curb by a motel, rooms circling a murky swimming pool. Bud braked, U-turned, watched. Cindy walked to a left-side room, knocked. A girl, 15-ish, blonde, let her in. Cindy walked out 10 minutes later. Bud knocked on the girl's door. She opened it, teary-eyed.
Are you the police?"
Bud nodded. "Sweetie, how old are you?" Her eyes went blurry. "Sweetie, what's your name?"
Kathy Janeway."
Bud closed the door. "How old are you?"
14. Why do men always ask you that?"
Bud scoped the room. Panda bears, movie mags, schoolgirl smocks on the dresser. No whore threads, no dope paraphernalia. "Was Duke nice to you?"
He didn't make me do it with guys, if that's what you mean."
"You mean you only did it with him?"
No. I mean, my daddy did it to me, and this other guy made me do it with guys. But Duke bought me away from him."
Pimp intrigue. "What was the guy's name?"
"No, I won't tell you, and you can't make me, and I forgot it anyway."
"Shh. So Duke was nice to you?"
"Don't shush me. Duke was a panda bear. All he wanted was to sleep in the same bed with me and play pinochle. Is that so bad?"
Bud gave her a bureau card. "That's my number at work. You call me, huh?" Back to the car. A brainstorm on the Cathcart place so far. He snapped to something missing from the bulletins. No checkout on Cathcart's apartment. A chance Duke's whore book might be there. Leads on his gig and the pimp he bought Kathy from. A typical bachelor flop, living room-bedroom combo, bathroom kitchenette, lights on for a quick inventory. A stack of yellow page directories, a toss, L.A. County, Riverside County, San Bernardino County. San Berdu, the only book used, ruffled pages, a cracked spine. Check the rufflings. Print shop listings thumbed through. A connection, probably nothing. Victim, Susan Lefferts, San Bernardino native. Bud drove to Cindy's pad. Bud said, "Duke's new gig and his enemies. Spill." Cindy wiped her face.
All I know is this guy was going around talking up cocktail bar girls, acting like Duke. You know, the same one-liners, real Dukey shtick.
All right, Duke's new gig. Give on that. Cindy sighed.
Dukey said he was going to push this weird smut. That's all I know. I didn't press it because I know a pipe dream when I hear one.
2 days since the fleur-de-lis grab. No way to tell how far he could take it. 2 days, one suspect. Lamar Hinton, age 26, arrested for strong-arm assault. A conviction on an ADW, a deuce at Chino, paroled 351. Current employment, telephone installer at PC Bell. His parole officer suspected he moonlighted rigging bootleg bookie lines. He drove to Hinton's assigned job site, saw the phone truck. Hinton on a pole across the street, monster huge in broad daylight. Jack parked, checked the truck, the loading door wide open. Tools, phone books, Spade Cooley albums, no suspicious-looking brown paper bags. Hinton stared at him. Jack went over badge first. Hinton trundled down the pole, 6'4" easy, blonde, muscles on muscles. "You with parole?" "Los Angeles Police Department." "Then this ain't about my parole?" "No, this is about you cooperating to avoid a parole rap. Your parole officer don't really approve of this job you've got, Lamar. He thinks you might start doing some bootlegs." Hinton flexed muscles. Jack said, "Fleur-de-lis, whatever you desire. You desire no violation. You talk. You don't talk, then back to Chino." Muscles thought it through. Jack pulled out a fuck mag, an orgy pic spread full. "Conspiracy to distribute pornographic material, possession and sales of felony narcotics. I've got enough to send you back to Chino until 1970. Now, did you move this smut for Fleur-de-lis?" Hinton bobbed his head. "Yeah." "Smart boy. Now, who made it?"
"I don't know. Really, honest, I don't."
"Who posed for it?"
"I don't know. I just delivered it."
"Billy Dieterling and Timmy Valburn. Go."
Just customers. Queers, you know. They like to fag party."
"You're doing great. So here's the big question. Who?" Hinton gripped the pole.
Pierce Patchett. He runs the business. He's some kind of legit businessman."
"Description, phone number, address."
"He's maybe 50-something. I think he lives in Brentwood, and I don't know his number because I get paid by mail. He sugar pimps girls made up like movie stars. He's rich. I only met him once."
"Are you working tonight?"
Yes."
Jack frisked. Wallet, change, butchwax, a key on a fob. He held the key up. "The address, and I'm gone."
5261B, Cherimoya.
Hinton bobbed his head. Bam, bam. Blood on the pole. Blood on the monster's forehead. Jack found a payphone, called R&I, the DMV. A make. Pierce Morehouse Patchett. DOB 63002. No criminal record. 1184 Gretna Green, Brentwood. 3 minor traffic violations since 1931. Not much. Sid Hudgens next. A busy signal. A buzz to Morty Bendish at the Mirror. "Morty, it's Jack Vincennes. Pierce Patchett. Ring a bell?" Bendish whistled.
"Whew. There's not much, but what there is choice. Patchett's a big, handsome guy, maybe 50, but he looks 38. He's some kind of judo or jiu-jitsu expert. He's either a chemist by trade or he was a chemistry major in college. He's worth a boatload of greenbacks, and I know he lends money to businessmen types at 30% interest and a cut of their biz. I know he's bankrolled a lot of movies under the table. Interesting, huh? Now, try this on. He's rumored to be some kind of periodic heroin sniffer, rumored to dry out at Terry Lux's clinic. All in all, he's what you might want to call a powerful, behind-the-scenes strange-o."
Terry Lux, plastic surgeon to the stars. Sanitarium boss, booze, dope cures, abortions, detoxification heroin available. The cops looked the other way. Terry treated L.A. politicos free. Jack hung up, called Sid Hudgens. Sid answered. "Hush, hush, off the record and on the QT." "It's Vincennes. Sid, have you heard of a man named Pierce Patchett?" Silence. Seconds ticking off long. Sid, too Sid-like. Jackie, all I know on the man is that he is very wealthy and what I like to call twilight. He ain't queer, he ain't red, he don't know anybody I can use in my quest for prime sinuendo. Bullshitting him, Jack could taste it. Dusk, Cherimoya Avenue, a Tudor 4-flat, 2 pads upstairs, 2 down, no lights. Jack rang the B buzzer, no response. An ear to the door, a listen, no sounds. In with the key. Jackpot, pervert fucking utopia, floor-to-ceiling shelves jammed with goodies. Mary Jane, pills, dope, alcohol, cocaine, heroin, film cans, smutty titles, dildos, whips, cock rings, enema bags. The phone rang. Lamar, tell Pierce I need to... Lamar? Is that you, Boychuk? Sid Hudgens. Yeah, who's this? Click. Sid knew Patchett. Sid knew Lamar. Sid knew the fleur-de-lis racket. He heard a car revving. A shot took out the front window. 2 shots smashed the door. Jack drew, fired. No hits. An arm-in-arm entrance. Inez in her best dress and a veil to hide her bruises. Ed kept his badge out. It got them past the press. Attendants formed the guests into lines. Dream a Dreamland was open for business. Ray Dieterling, Preston Exley. Ed stood up. Inez stood up, starry-eyed. Preston said, Raymond Dieterling, my son Edmund. Edmund, will you introduce the young lady? Inez straight to Dieterling.
Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Dieterling took her hand.
Thank you, dear. And your name?
Inez Soto.
Dieterling smiled. Sad. The girl's story, front-page news. He turned to Ed.
Sergeant, a pleasure.
A good handshake. Sir, an honor, and congratulations.
Thank you. And I share those congratulations with your father. Preston, your son has an eye for the ladies, doesn't he?
Preston laughed.
Miss Soto, Edmund has rarely evinced such good taste.
He handed Ed a slip of paper.
A sheriff's officer called the house looking for you. I took the message.
Ed palmed the paper. Inez blushed through her veil. Dieterling smiled.
Miss Soto, I want you to know that you have a good job here any time you wish.
Bud's doorbell rang. Across the screen, Dudley Smith and a West Valley Dick, Joe DeCenzo. Dudley sighed.
Lad, I'm afraid I'm the bearer of bad tidings. Last night, a young lassie named Kathy Janeway was found in her motel room, raped and beaten to death. Your calling card was found in her purse.
Bud tracked Sinful Cindy to a restaurant. Kathy Janeway got raped and beaten to death. Give on the guy who used to pimp her.
Dwight Gillette. I heard he lives in the tract in Eagle Rock, but I know he didn't kill her. He's a swish. He's careful about his hands, and he'd never put it in a girl.
Anything else?
He carried a knife. His girls called him Blue Blade, 'cause his name's Gillette.
Eagle Rock, Dwight Gillette. 6 suborning arrests, no convictions. Bud pushed the buzzer. A guy opened up, 30-ish, short, plump.
I heard on the radio, so I thought you fellas might be coming by. The radio said midnight, and I have an alibi. He lives a block away, and I can have him here toot sweet. And Kathy was a sweet kid, and I don't know who'd do a thing like that.
Bud shouldered him into the house, quick throw. Duke Cathcart, you sold Kathy to him, right? I heard Duke was pushing smut. You hear that?
Smut is déclassé, and the answer is no.
The phone rang. Gillette walked to the kitchen, grabbed an extension. Gillette hung up. I need skinny on Kathy's old tricks, so cough up your whore book. Gillette hit a switch above the sink. A motor growled. He shoved scrapings down a garbage hole. Bud flipped the switch up. Your whore book.
No, 9, niet, and never.
Bud hooked him to the gut. Gillette rolled with it, grabbed a knife, swung. Bud sidestepped, kicked at his balls. Gillette doubled up. Bud hit the garbage switch, jammed the queer's knife hand down the chute. The sink shot back blood, bone. Bud yanked the hand out, minus fingers. Give me the fucking whore book! Gillette, eyes rolling back.
Drawer, by TV, ambulance.
Bud dropped him, ran to the living room. Empty drawers, back to the kitchen. Gillette on the floor eating paper. Chokehold. Gillette spat out a half-chewed page. Bud picked up the wad, stumbled outside. He smoothed the paper out. Names, phone numbers. Lynn Bracken, Pierce Patchett.
Hello, lad.
Vincennes swiveled around. Dud, how are you? What brings you to advice?
A confab with Russ Millard, my colleague on the Night Owl. And on that topic, I heard you want in.
You heard right. Can you swing it? Smith passed him a mimeo sheet.
I already have, lad. You're to join in the search for Coates's car. Lad, I need a personal favor.
Name it.
I want you to keep a tail on Bud White. He's gotten personally involved in the unfortunate killing of a child prostitute, and I need him stable. Will you stick to him, Knights, great tailor that you are?
Bad Bud. Always a sucker for strays.
Sure, Dud.
Parker.
Ed, the Night Owl case is narrowing down to the Negroes in custody or some other colored gang. Now, word has it that you've gotten close to the Soto girl. Lieutenant Smith and I deem it imperative that she undergo questioning in order to clear up the time element, alibi or not alibi the three in custody, and identify the other men who assaulted her. We think pentothal is the best way to get results, and pentothal works best when a subject is at ease. We want you to convince Miss Soto to cooperate. Do you care about the girl?
Yes.
You know that sooner or later she'll have to cooperate.
Sir, don't underestimate her. She's steel inside. Parker smiled.
Convince her to cooperate, and if we get enough corroboration to convince Ellis Lowe he's got a showstopper grand jury case, I'll jump you on the promotion list. You'll be a detective lieutenant immediately. Ed, you're 31. Your father didn't make lieutenant until 33.
I'll do it. Bud drove to Brentwood, squeezed Pierce Morehouse Patchett. 1184 Gretna Green, a big Spanish mansion, all pink, lots of tile. He parked, walked up. Porch lights came on, soft focus on a man in a chair. He matched Patchett's DMV stats, looked younger than his DOB.
Are you Pierce Patchett?
I am. Pinned eyes, maybe zoned on some kind of hop. Bodybuilder muscles, a tight shirt to show them off. An easy voice. He came on like he always sat in the dark, waiting for cops to call. I'm a homicide detective. Oh? Who was killed, and why do you think I can help you?
A girl named Kathy Janeway. Do you know her?
No, I did not. Did she claim to know me?
No. Delbert Duke Cathcart.
Patchett sighed. I don't know him either.
Dwight Gillette. Lynn Bracken.
A big smile. Yes, I know those people.
Patchett, why's a shit pimp have your phone number?
Patchett leaned forward. Do you care about criminal matters peripheral to the Janeway killing?
No.
Then you wouldn't feel obliged to report them.
The fucker had style.
That's right. Then listen closely, because I'll only say it once, and if it gets repeated, I'll deny it. I run call girls. Lynn Bracken is one of them. I bought Lynn from Gillette a few years ago. Now, I treat my girls very well. I have grown daughters myself, and I lost a baby girl to crib death. I do not like the thought of women being hurt, and I frankly have a great deal of money to indulge my fancies. Did this Kathy Janeway girl die badly? Beaten to death, semen in the mouth, rectum, vagina.
Yeah, very bad. Tell me about Lynn Bracken. She street?
No, call. Gillette was ruining her with bad clients. I'm very selective who my girls truck with, by the way.
So you bought her off Gillette?
Correct. Lynn looks very much like the actress Veronica Lake, and I needed her to fill out my little studio.
What little studio?
Patchett shook his head. No, that's all I'll give you.
What about smut? You know Gillette. Gillette sold you Lynn Bracken. Gillette sold Kathy Janeway to Cathcart. Cathcart was supposed to be starting up a smut biz.
Smut buzzed him, little eye flickers. Bud said, Ring a bell? Patchett picked up a glass, swirled ice cubes. No bells. Bud stood up pissed, no handle on the man. He drove home. Inez Soto on his doorstep. Bud walked over. She said, I was at Exley's place in Lake Arrowhead. He said there was no strings. Then he showed up and told me I had to take this drug to make me remember. I told him no. Did you know you're the only Wendell White in the Central Directory? The phone rang. Ed rolled over, grabbed it. Exley, it's Bob Gallaudet. Congratulate me. I passed the bar exam, making me both an attorney and a DA's bureau investigator. Aren't you impressed? Congratulations. And you didn't call at 8 a.m. to tell me that. Right you are, so listen close. Last night, a lawyer named Jake Kellerman called Ellis Lowe. He's representing two witnesses, brothers, who say they've got a viable Duke Cathcart connection to Mickey Cohen. They say they can clear the Night Owl. They've got some outstanding L.A. warrants for pushing Benzedrine, and Ellis is giving them immunity on that, plus possible immunity on any conspiracy charges that might stem from their connection to the Night Owl. We're having a meeting at the Miramar Hotel in an hour. Gallaudet met him in the lobby. They talked, walking. They're waiting for us, a steno included, and what we've got are Pete and Bax Englekling, age 36, age 32, San Bernardino-based, quasi-hoods, I guess you'd call them. They both did youth authority time for pushing Mary Jane back in the early 40s. Except for the Benny-pushing warrants, they've stayed clean. They own a legit print shop up in San Bernardino. They're what you'd call genius fix-it guys, and their late father was a college chemistry teacher and some kind of pioneering pharmaceuticalist who developed early antipsychotic drugs. Impressive, right? Now get this. Pops, who kicked off in the summer of '50, developed dope compounds for the old mobs, and Mickey C. was his protector back in his bodyguard days. This won't be dull, Exley said. But do you make Cohen for the Night Owl? He's in prison, for one thing. Gangsters never kill innocent citizens. Into Suite 309, the meeting in a small room. Lowe said, For the official record, it is 8:53 a.m., April 24, 1953. Jacob Kellerman represents Peter and Baxter Englekling, potential prosecution witnesses in the matter of the Night Owl coffee shop. Mr. Kellerman will read a prepared statement given to him by his clients. Kellerman read, We, Peter and Baxter Englekling, do swear that this statement is entirely true. In late March of this year, approximately 3 weeks before the Night Owl killings, we were approached at our business, the Speedy King print shop in San Bernardino. The man who approached us was one Delbert Duke Cathcart, who said that he had gotten our names from Mr. X.Y., an acquaintance from our youth camp sentence days. Cathcart showed us photographs of people engaged in explicit sexual activities, some of them homosexual in nature. Some of the photographs were people in colorful costumes and animated red ink embossed on some of the snapshots. Cathcart said that he heard we could manufacture high-quality magazine-type books very fast, and we said this was true. Cathcart also stated that a number of magazine-type books had already been manufactured using the obscene photographs and quoted us the cost involved. We knew we could make the books at 1/8 of that cost. Kellerman sipped water. Cathcart then told us that he heard our late father, Franz Doc Englekling, was friends with Mickey Cohen, Los Angeles mobster currently incarcerated at McNeil Island Penitentiary. We said this was true. Cathcart then made his basic proposal. He said that distribution of the pornographic books would have to be very close because the cats who took the photographs and did the paste-up work seemed like they had lots to hide. He said that he had access to a network of rich perverts who would pay large sums for the books. Cathcart claimed to have access to junkies and whores to serve as models and access to classy call girls who might pose for a lark if their crazy sugar daddy agreed. Kellerman flipped pages. Cathcart told us that we were to visit Mickey Cohen at McNeil Island and get him to release funds to get the business started. We were also to solicit his advice on starting a distribution system. In exchange for the above, Cohen would be given a Bonnaroo percentage cut. We visited Mickey Cohen in his cell at McNeil approximately 2 weeks before the Night Owl killings. We proposed the idea to him. He refused to help and became very angry when we told him the idea was conceived by Duke Cathcart, whom he referred to as a notorious statch rapo shitbird. In conclusion, we believe that gunmen employed by Mickey Cohen perpetrated the Night Owl massacre, a kill 6 to get 1 ruse undertaken out of his hatred for Duke Cathcart. We believe that if the killings were the result of pornography intrigue, we too might become victims. We swear that this deposition is true and not rendered under physical or mental duress. Kellerman said, My clients welcome questions. Lowe pointed to the bedroom. After I talk to my colleagues. They walked in. Lowe closed the door. Conclusions. Bob, you first. Gallaudet lit a cigarette. Mickey Cohen, despite his many faults, does not murder people out of pique. I believe their story, but everything we've dug up on Cathcart makes him look like a pathetic chump who couldn't get something this big going. I say it's tangent stuff at best. I agree, Lowe said. Captain, your opinion. Millard said, if this deal is smut-connected, then the Englickling boys would either have been killed or approached by now. I think Ed and Bob should fly up to McNeil and talk to Mickey. I think Bob's right. It's a tangent we're dealing with. No colored lights. White light behind closed curtains. Bud pushed the buzzer. The door opened. Backlight on Lynn Bracken.
Yes? Are you the policeman Pierce told me about?
That's right. Bud walked in. Lynn said,
I've never heard of Kathy what's-her-name, and Dwight Gillette would never sexually abuse a female. If he were going to kill one, he would have used a knife. I have heard of Duke Cathcart, essentially that he was a loser with a soft spot for his girls.
Bud said, tell me about Pierce Patchett and this racket of his.
Pierce finds girls with middling resemblances to movie stars. They sleep with Pierce and selected clients, men who can help him put together movie and business deals. He makes his girls quit the life at 30, no exceptions, and I owe him a great deal.
Lux cut you to look like Veronica Lake? Lynn touched her hair.
No, I refused. I'm really a brunette, but the rest is me.
And how old are you?
I'll be 30 next month, and I'll be opening up a dress shop.
Look, said Bud, I want to see you again.
No more shop talk, then. I don't want to be somebody's suspect.
Mickey Cohen's cell. Velvet-covered bed. Velvet-flocked shelves. Commode with a velvet-flocked seat. Gallaudet patted Cohen's pet bulldog, Mickey Cohen, Jr., snazzy in a velvet-flocked sweater. Mickey Cohen said, I have never killed no man that did not deserve killing by the standards of our way of life. I have never distributed no obscene shit to be used for the purpose of masturbation, and only took a confabulation with Pete and Bax Englickling because of my fondness for their late father. I do not kill innocent bystanders. Ed saw a man on the catwalk, Davy Goldman, Mickey's chief accountant, at McNeil on his own tax beef. Goldman sidled away. Gallaudet said, Mickey, the Englickling brothers said you went crazy when they mentioned Duke Cathcart was behind their idea. Cohen spat biscuit crumbs. Are you familiar with the old saying, blowing off steam? Ed said, did the Englicklings mention any other names besides Cathcart? No, and Cathcart I never met myself. I heard he had a Statch rape jacket, so I judged him on that. Gallaudet. Mick, here's the key question. Did you talk up the deal on the yard? Who else did you tell about it? I told nobody. Jerk-off books are from sin and hunger. I even chased Davy away when those Meshuggah brothers came calling. Jack. Hudgens' place. No lights on. Sid's Packard at the curb. Jack tried the door. No give. Shouldered the jam. The door popped open. That smell. Slow motion. Handkerchief out. Gun out. Elbow to the wall. The switch. No prints. Switch down. Lights on. Sid Hudgens hacked up on the floor. Arms and legs severed. Out at weird angles off his torso. Split open crotch to neck, bones showing white through red. Cabinets upended behind him, folders dumped on a clean patch of rug. File cabinet dirt, folders, folders, folders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags, 2 trips to his car. 50 trillion people had motives. He had to find his file. Jack doused the lights, sawed the front door with his handcuffs, let them think it's a burglar. He took off. He found a motel strip, a hot sheet flop, Oscar's Sleepy Time Lodge. He paid a week's rent, hauled his bags in, locked the door, prowled dirt. Hush-hush back issues, clippings, pilfered police documents, nothing on Sergeant Jack Vincennes. Nothing on Badge of Honor, a big Hudgens fixation. He knew Sid had a file on Brett Chase. Strange. One instinct buzzed him. Hudgens didn't keep his secret files at home. If the killer snuffed him for a particular file, he tried to torture the location out of him first. The killer didn't glom a lot of files. The cabinets wouldn't hold much more than what he stole. Sid's Big V file was still at large. If the killer found it, he might keep it, might throw it away. Mutilations on Hudgens' body matched the inked-in poses in the fuck books he had found outside Bobby Inge's pad. No other cops had seen those specific books. Hudgens warned him away from fleur-de-lis. Lynn Bracken was a Patchett whore. Maybe she knew Sid. Jack drove to her apartment, settled in behind her car. Give her an hour, play it by ear if she left. Time Benzedrine flew. Bracken's door stayed shut. 12:33, a kid chucked a newspaper at it. The door opened. Lynn Bracken picked the paper up, yawned back inside. The paper boy swooped by, carrier sacks in plain view, Los Angeles Mirror News. Bang! Bracken slammed the door, ran to her car. She gunned it, swerved west on Los Feliz. Jack cut her 2 seconds slack, tailed her. Odds on a run to Patchett's place. Jack shortcutted, made 1184 Gretna Green burning rubber. Lynn Bracken hadn't showed yet. He parked, checked out the house. Nobody up and about. Up to the door, a duck around the side, find some windows. All closed. A gardener working around back. No way to circuit without being seen. A car door slammed. Jack ran to a front window, closed. A part in the curtains he could squint through. The doorbell rang. Jack squinted in. Patchett walked to the door, opened it. Lynn Bracken shoved her newspaper at him. Zoom into a panic duet. Mute lip movements. Fear very large. Jack put an ear to the glass. All he heard was his own heart thumping. No need for sound. They didn't know Sid was dead. They're scared anyway. They didn't kill him. Jack ran to his car. He made the bureau 10 minutes late. The desk sergeant told him the spooks were getting feistier. The garage men were going out in threes. 1 detective, 2 patrolmen. Teams on opposite sides of the street. Meet his guys at 116th and Wills. They'd been 1 man short. Jack drove to 116 and Wills, a stretch of cinder-block shacks, windows stuffed with cardboard. His guys up ahead. 2 patrolmen on the left, 2 blues and a plainclothes on the right. Armed. 10 snips, rifles. Jack parked, made the left side team a threesome. Twilight. A block of deserted houses. Broken windows, weed jungle lawns. Jack started feeling punk. Achy teeth, chest pings. He heard rebel yells across the street. The right side team triggered shots. He looked at his partners. Then they all tore ass over. The Holy Grail in a rat-infested garage. A purple 49 Merc, license DG-114, registered to Raymond Sugar Ray Coates. 3 pump shotguns on the floor between the seats. Lynn opened the door, all Veronica, spangly gown, blonde curl over one eye. "If you'd called first, I wouldn't look this ridiculous. If you wait in the bedroom, I'll scrub off Veronica." She came to him naked, a brunette, her hair still wet. Bud forced himself to go slow. Lynn moaned. Bud loved it when she gasped and came over and over. Hard inside her, he let himself go as her legs pulsed. Later, they rested, talked. Lynn talked up her diary, 1,000 pages back to high school in Bisbee, Arizona. Bud rambled on the night owl. Jack saw Bud White's car parked by Lynn Bracken's pad. Patchett and Bracken his only Hudgens leads. Patchett had servants living in. Bracken lived alone. He'd brace her when White left her bed. A door slammed. Bud White walked to his car. Jack hit the seat prone. The car pulled away. Seconds, another door slam. A quick look. A brunette Lynn Bracken heading out. Over to her car, due east into Glendale. A swerve to the curb in front of a bank. Jack pulled around the corner to a sighting point. Lynn was talking to a man, nervous, a shaky little guy. He opened the bank and hustled her in. A Ford and Dodge were parked further down. No way to nail license plate numbers. Lamar Hinton walked outside, lugging boxes. Files, it had to be. Bracken and the bank geek hauled boxes. A run to the Dodge and Lynn's Packard. The geek locked up the bank, hit the Ford, and U-turned southbound. Hinton and Bracken formed a chain, separate cars heading north. Jack counted to 10, chased. He caught them a mile out, north into foothills. He followed their route straight to a campsite, picnic tables, barbecue pits. 2 cars behind a pine row, Bracken and Hinton carrying boxes, Muscle Boy dangling a gas can off one pinky. Jack ditched his car, snuck up behind some pines. Bracken and Hinton dumped paper in a big charcoal pit. They turned their backs. Jack sprinted over, ducked down. They came back, another load. Bracken with a lighter out, Hinton's arms full. Jack stood up, kicked, pistol whipped. The balls, left to the face. Hinton went down. Jack broke his arms. Bracken had hold of the gas can and a lighter. Jack stood in front of the pit, his .38 cocked. Lynn held the can, the cap loose, spilling fumes. Flick, a flame on the lighter. Jack drew down, right in her face. Hinton tried to crawl. Jack's gun hand started shaking. Sid Hudgens, Patchett, and Fleur-de-Lis. It's either me or Bud White, and I can be bought.